Welcome to our next episode of
Fandom
Family
Chats.
This is a production of Family Fan Clubs on Facebook. You can find us all over Facebook. You can find us all over social media under Fandom Family Chats. Look us up, get dialed in, get plugged in, and get ready to listen to some crazy people talk crazy stuff.
Welcome back to Fandom Family Chats. I'm Amanda.
I'm Eve.
And tonight we are talking about not all Netflix, but a few Netflix comedies. We're going to be talking about Emily in Paris, season 3. We're going to be talking about Unstable, and we're going to be talking about Beef. So those are our 3 we're going to be discussing vaguely and kind of just giving you our reviews and what we think about the shows. So we are going to start off with a favorite of all of ours, even though I'm still not done with season 3, but Eve has finished it. So we're going to go with that. I know the characters and all that, so I can talk to it. But Emily in Paris, and for this review, we'll be discussing only season 3. We might mention 1 and 2, but we won't be going into depth or giving our reviews on 1 and 2.
Well, that works for me because season 3 is the one that I remember. But, being the most current one, so.
Mm-hmm. So we need can you give us a synopsis?
Yeah, so this season, if I remember correctly, and if I'm totally wrong, don't get mad at me, just nicely correct me because my memory is not all that good. Okay, so last season kind of left off on a big cliffhanger as far as Emily's career goes. We'll get into the whole love life stuff last because I think we have more to discuss there. But as far as her work stuff goes, it ended with Sylvie and Jean-Luc, I think his name is.
Jean-Luc.
Yeah, oh, it's so fancy. And then everything French just sounds so fancy. And then that other guy that she works with, Julian. That's right. Okay.
I can see him in my head. Just can't think of his name.
Everyone at Savoie, or what was once Savoie, decided to quit. So
I loved this when they did this. I was like,
all
ooh.
quit, and as it turned, they left Emily in the dark, but apparently they had a plan as far as that was concerned.
They did.
They want Emily to come with her, so now Emily has to break it to her boss,
Kate Walsh.
Kate Walsh, who we love because she's in Grey's Anatomy, but I do not love her on this show. I still love Kate Walsh. She's fantastic. But
I don't even hate her on this show. She's more of a comedic relief. I just don't take her serious.
But you haven't seen seasons 2 and 3 yet.
But I've seen 2.
Have you seen 2?
Well, anyway, I don't want her to win in this story, but I do. She makes me giggle a lot.
Yeah, I still like her. I just don't love her. Mm-hmm. But I think the funny thing was that Emily is still working for her, but she hasn't told her that, hey, I quit because I want to go work with, these other people. And I'm sorry, I know that it was supposed to be dramatic. It was so funny.
It was hilarious. That's why we're talking about this in a comedy.
Yeah, it was so funny. She's basically working as a double agent. She's undercover or something, except she's not really undercover. She just doesn't have the heart to tell her former boss that she quit. And
why can't she work both?
Yeah, because that would work great. I just thought it was so funny how the whole business is just falling apart. There's I think at one point, there were birds flying around the office and they were freaking out, and then the AC's being shut off.
No, I
was like, AC is all I need. If you cut off my AC, I'm done. I'm out of there.
Yeah, I can't do that, but I'm from Texas. We have to have our AC. I don't think not a lot of houses in London have air conditionings, right?
I think AC, my understanding anyway, is that AC is not a big thing in Europe.
Must be nice.
So,
except when they have those heat waves. I know they have bad heat waves.
They have bad heat waves though, so I'm not sure why AC isn't a
Maybe
thing.
it's just like so those few days they need. I mean, fans can cool you down for a few days rather than having central air.
I don't know. I'd probably die and then just move.
I would not be comfortable. No.
No, I don't think I could do it. But um then the funny turn of events was that eventually both sides found out, as is going to happen, because as great as Emily is at her job, she's not great at having two jobs and the other person not knowing.
Yeah.
So of course, both Sylvie and Madeline both found out what she was doing, and she was fired from both.
I've gotten this far. I have
So
gotten this far.
So she's fired from both jobs. And this is the point, like, if this was like my real life, this is the point where I would like cry and then, I don't know, try and like just go home. Like, I'd be like, I'm so done.
I'm done.
C'est la vie. Done with France. Done
Final
with...
straw.
It's been great. I'm out of here.
I don't know. I feel like she belongs there. I would be very sad if Emily ever went back to the States. I think she's made for Paris.
Well, that it'd be what, Emily in Chicago? That's not fun. Then we have to watch
It doesn't have a ring to it, does it?
Then we have to watch her eating that horrible deep dish pizza.
You should come across Fiona. There's a Shameless overlap. You didn't watch Shameless, did you?
No. Or what's her name? Is there Maggie's there?
Maggie is there. I love Maggie though.
But yeah, eventually I think that all got worked out, if I remember correctly. I think somehow Jean-Luc worked his usual magic and got Emily back on the team, and Madeline eventually gave up and she went back.
Yeah.
But then I think Jeanette will be so sad she missed this part. What was Jeanette's favorite part though was the love triangle or square, because we have Emily who's trying to choose between
Gabriel and
Elle and
Alfie.
Who I was 100% team Alfie, just because that route was less messy. Because
I'm team Gabriel. His girlfriend, who I like as a person, can go.
Yeah, because then on the other side we have another triangle with Emily,
Camille,
Gabrielle, and Camille, who I've there's nothing about her that I really like. She's just conniving, and
I don't like Camille. I think a lot of people actually do like Camille. Well, I don't know after season 3 because I haven't finished season 3, so that could change. A lot of people did like Camille, and that's why everyone was going team Alfie when I was on the blogs.
I was team Alfie because, well, first of all, I love a British accent, and
who doesn't?
And it was just less messy. Like, he actually wanted to be with her. Gabrielle was just confused. I was like, screw the confused guy. Like, go for the handsome British dude. Which she did. But then at the very end of season 3, he just says, nope, you don't want me. I think you want someone else. And then that's that.
Well,
I was like, wait, no, stop.
Well,
we can.
She does. She is supposed to be with Gabriel. Alfie is just the distraction.
She is, but I wanted things to go my way because I like Alfie.
I like Alfie too. He is hot as heck.
Supposed to be with him, and I guess I just have to accept that eventually. Not yet.
No, I knew it was Gabriel from the day he opened up that apartment door. It was right there. You just knew.
But things are going to get a whole lot messy because now Camille's pregnant.
No.
Yes.
Ew, why? Oh, come on. Why you gotta throw a wrench in at that permanent?
Yeah, because
maybe it's not his baby.
Oh.
They gotta play it somehow. Take a Virgin River.
See, I don't know, because if she was lying that it was his baby, you'd think it'd be because she was trapping him and trying to trap him into a marriage, into trying to be with her. But she called off, like, she was a runaway bride. She like at the last second said, I can't do this, and then she ran off. So, and then that's when Gabrielle told Emily, she's pregnant.
Dang
So
it. They can't do
don't
that
know.
to me.
So I don't know, maybe maybe that is what she was trying to do at first, was trap him, and then she realized last second, no, never mind, I can't do this. Except she doesn't strike me as someone who has scruples. So
I don't know. Now you got me all confused. Dang it. Okay, we're gonna move off and talk characters real fast because we're gonna dig deeper down. Okay, we obviously have Emily. She's doing her thing. Nobody really cares about Emily. And then we have Gabriel, who is my love.
I mean, he can cook. I
I'm
mean,
off.
he's got that going for him. So
I think that's honestly like my attraction towards him more is that he is a cook and he's I don't know, it's almost the way he carries himself is why I like him more over Alfie. Because I wouldn't say that like Gabriel is hotter than Alfie. I think they're pretty, in my eyes, they're pretty equal on the hotness scales. They both have amazing accents. I think it's just the way that Gabriel carries himself and he can cook, which is a huge plus in my book. But you also have Alfie, who is equally just as hot, has an amazing accent. And like you said earlier, he really wants to be with Emily, which I feel like Gabriel is more, he's constantly pulled between Emily and Camille, which Camille's our next one we're going to talk about. And fun fact, her name's Camille in real life. Okay, I do have to know though, who is your favorite like side character?
Mindy.
Okay, because she's mine too.
I love
I love Ashley Park in anything she does, but I love Mindy.
Oh my gosh, I love her so much. She is just so much fun. Like, I don't know how else to put it. She's just so much fun.
She is a lot of fun.
And
I think her fashion and just is amazing to me. I like Emily's fashion too, but it's a different, like Mindy, I feel like Mindy pulls off Mindy fashion.
yeah, Emily is like way more like high fashion, refined. It's like I don't know. I look at some of the stuff Emily wears and I'm like, is that in right now? Because that is just real interesting looking. It just reminds me of like the outlandish like dresses or whatever that people wore in like the Hunger Games in the Capitol or something. Just like real outlandish and out there. But I don't know. Mindy's is more just Mindy.
It's Mindy. She has like her own style, and I love it.
I keep forgetting though that the two of them are roommates, and they've been roommates since season 1, haven't they? When she lost her.
Was it season 1? It was either, I don't know, it's either season 1 or season 2. I remember it's either late season 1 or early season 2.
Yeah, because it was after she lost her au pair job.
Yeah.
And for some reason I keep forgetting that they're roommates. And I'm telling you, if I had a roommate in that tiny like little apartment that Emily's living in, I think one of us would be dead by now.
I don't think they're home a lot though.
That's true.
If I lived in Paris, I probably wouldn't be home a ton either.
Just to sleep.
I don't know. I say that, but I love my home. I like curling up in my own space. So I can't really talk. I would probably be home all the time.
I don't like being out and going places. So, I'm probably going to be home a lot.
It's too people-y out there.
Yeah, I just can't do people. It's too much.
I don't mind people, but I don't like overcrowds. That's even grocery stores make my anxiety go up now. Okay, also Sylvie. You love and you hate her. I've had a love-hate relationship with Sylvie from the beginning. What is your take?
I love Sylvie. So it's more like I either love her or maybe I don't love her right now, but what she's doing is very amusing.
I'm mad at her.
Sometimes I'm mad at her, but I've never hated her just because I feel the limited that I know about French culture is my understanding is she's like a portrayal of what the French are like.
Yeah.
She comes off rude and condescending, but I really think that's just the culture. Like
Culture there, yeah.
that's my understanding of French culture. And I feel like a lot of times when she's coming off that way, she actually, because she has told Emily, like she has admitted many times that she loves Emily's work and how great she does. And I know a lot of times, not sometimes, let's say all the time, I feel like she's constantly kind of like putting Emily down because, Emily's with her social media stuff. And that's
Yeah.
really, which, in marketing is a good skill to have, to be good at social media, because
Yeah.
that's kind of where we are in this era, I guess you can call it. And I just find it funny whenever Sylvie's like, you found this client because you follow her? She's one of your followers? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean that's how networking works
But
nowadays.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like she can be very old-fashioned sometimes when it comes to that, but I don't know. I still love her. She's a
I like her a lot more than I don't like her, but she's just not one of those like top 5 characters for me.
yeah,
She's okay.
I wouldn't call her one of my favorites. I wouldn't say, oh my gosh, I love her, but I don't hate her. I don't even dislike her, really.
I like Luke a lot more than I like Sylvie and Julian. I think Jean-Luc is my favorite because he's also been in other shows that I've seen and I love.
Well, Luke is very, like, he's always the middleman. He's always playing peacekeeper.
Yes.
Like, it's okay. Sylvie's being a word I can't say here right now. Sylvie's being this way, but it's okay. You just show her what you've got. And I'm sitting there thinking, Luke, you are living in some kind of dream world, and I can't say I don't like it.
No. And this season we have a couple of new characters. We have Paul Foreman who plays Nicholas.
Eh,
How are we feeling about Nicholas?
we don't like Nicholas at all.
We don't like Nicholas at all.
No, the second we met him, I was like, I don't know if it's because as soon as we met him, I could tell that this is not a character we're supposed to be rooting for.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if that kind of put me in the mindset, well, I don't need to care about him, but he's just, I don't know. It's like he works so hard to make everyone's life harder.
One of those lovely people that we love.
And it's like, wouldn't it be so much easier and less stressful to mind your own business?
You would think.
I mean, you would think, but there are people like this in real life too. So, I mean, what do I really know?
All right, so Nicholas we don't like. What about Sophia? Do we like Sophia?
Sophia, I really don't know. She's okay.
She's a me.
I feel like they really didn't. She's a good artist because she had somewhat of a relationship with Camille.
Mm-hmm. She was a Greek. Yeah, she's a Greek artist.
Yeah,
It came to one of Camille's shows.
And she's Greek, and I love Greek food. So, no, but anyway, she had a relationship with Camille, but I feel they really didn't do enough with her character to really make me, like her or dislike her.
Mm-hmm.
Either way. So I don't know. I guess she's okay.
Okay, so what was a couple of your favorite parts of season 3?
Honestly, I just really loved Emily trying to work for both companies. That was really a big highlight. That was just the funniest part of the entire season. I feel like the rest was really heavy on the drama, but like that one piece, it was just so funny. And I was very disappointed that it didn't carry on through the whole season.
It didn't last longer.
The only reason I was sad that she was found out so fast was because I was like, oh, but this was funny. I wanted it to go all season so I had something to laugh at.
It would have been funny seeing her trying to manage both of them for a longer period of time. Okay, so that was your favorites. what was one of your or some of your complaints?
Oh my gosh, it was such a good season. Well, I guess my biggest complaint is how it ended.
I was
Because
gonna say my only complaint is making Camille too permanent.
yeah, I really didn't like how I don't know if I can say this is my least favorite part, but I think what I was just confused about was the whole Greek artist storyline with Hammy and like their relationship and all of that. I just didn't really see the point, especially because it's not like Camille is well, well, like you said, for some reason, a lot of people love her, so maybe that's why they did it. But in my brain, it didn't make sense because, as far as I know, she's not a liked person.
Yeah.
So I really didn't care for the fact that she was getting her own storyline because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm bored of this. I don't even like this chick anyway. Let's like move on to
Why are we
something.
concentrating on her?
Yeah, like why are we focusing so much on her?
Yeah, that gets
And now she's gonna be now we're stuck with her because she's pregnant. So
yay. Who
well,
knows? Maybe she'll like come out and surprise us on season 4
I
because
don't
we are getting a season 4 that is confirmed.
maybe she'll just go away and take the baby with her, but then Gabrielle will be sad and we don't want that.
I don't want that.
Yeah,
He'd be a great dad. I don't want that. Okay, so what's your overall grade for season 3?
season 3, I'm 12 out of 10. I just love Emily in Paris so much. Even
A,
when,
B,
like,
C, or D? Or F?
oh gosh, no, not F. No, the storyline that one storyline I didn't really care about that gets I don't know, that gets a D. It's like great job for trying, but I don't care. Um no, I'm gonna give it an overall A. I still love Emily in Paris so much. And the fact that we're promised a season 4.
And
So
Lily Collins has teased a Roman holiday in season 4. So hopefully it's going to be based in Rome. That would be a lot of fun. I want to see what brings her to Rome. I'm sure work. But
I was about to say I've always wanted to go to Rome, but this isn't real life. So
do what Romans do. Okay, sorry. So your overall grade is an A. I'm going to say a B plus until I finish it because I'm not happy that Camille's pregnant. But when I finish, I will update everybody who cares about my grade.
see if I can sit down and binge an entire season in a day without feeling like I just need a break. I'm like, that's an A plus show.
That was me in the bear yesterday. All right, so we're going to move on from Emily in Paris. And this next one, I really feel like everybody in our group had high hopes for because it stars Rob Lowe and his son, John Owen Lowe, who they both work on 911 Lone Star, which is another show that we absolutely love and we cover. This one just really fell flat, and I was super disappointed in it.
I was a bit disappointed with Unstable, and I don't know if it's because my expectations were so high. But I love Rob Lowe, and I was really excited to see him in a show with his son, who,
Yeah.
yeah, you can tell they're father and son.
Oh, yeah. Can't you?
I was going to say good casting, but but I love seeing them work together. And I know, Amanda, I said at one point that this show is like a depiction of what would happen to Owen on Lone Star if he was left to his own devices.
Yes.
Completely unhinged and wacky and out there.
His name is Ellis Dragon. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, Ellis, first of all, the only time I've ever heard the name Ellis is from Grey's Anatomy, and that was
Ellis
Meredith.
Gray.
So it's, I've never heard the name Ellis anywhere else. So I don't know, maybe it's a unisex name, but for me,
It is. It is.
For me, it's a woman's name because the other character I've heard, but then also on top of that, his last name is Dragon. So I guess it was kind of hard to take this show seriously, even though I know it's a comedy and
Yeah.
it's not meant to be taken seriously. but I feel like it was too over the top.
It was too goofy. And honestly, I don't mind goofy. Like, I like a lot of goofy shows. This one just felt goofy in a serious setting. I like goofy in a goofy setting. This one, there was moments like I just feel uncomfortable. Not like uncomfortable, but just like I know I should be laughing, but I'm not laughing. And I hate that feeling. Really, when it's somebody who I love and really appreciate as an actor. Like,
It felt more silly
yeah.
than comedic because I
Yeah.
like comedies. I mean, we just talked about Emily in Paris. I gave that one an A plus, but I feel like this one was just more silly than it was. And I could only make it through 4 episodes when I texted Amanda and said, I can't do this anymore. Do I have to finish?
I finished. I did all 8 episodes. Jeanette did too. In case anybody wants to know, Jeanette was supposed to be on this podcast, but sadly we had to reschedule. So she's not going to join us today, but she did finish Unstable as
And
well. She kind of liked it.
yeah, she did like it. Like it didn't sound like she loved it, like it was her favorite thing she's ever seen, but she definitely liked it more than we did. So, which was confusing to me because I thought, well, Jeanette, like mine and Jeanette's tastes line up a lot of time. I would say not all the time, a lot of times. So I was like, I don't know. I'm trying to understand why she liked it. It wasn't
I
like
think
the
she went in with I think she heard us talking about it enough of saying how goofy it really was. And I guess if you watch it in just the goofy aspect of it, it's not bad. Like, I don't feel like I wouldn't give it like an F rating. We'll get to our ratings in a little bit. It was just, I think I was expecting too much out of it. And it was
I,
just felt like such a loose storyline, even almost.
yeah, I think my problem is that it really didn't have much of a strong storyline to stand on. Like it didn't have that overall arching storyline to stand on. It did, but it wasn't strong enough. And
Yeah.
then silliness piled on top of it, it just didn't do it for me.
Okay. So I'll read the synopsis and then we'll go from there. So it says, in a biological research company, a son with social problems is forced to work for the company of his father. And his father is Rob Lowe. The son who's coming to work for him is Rob Lowe's son in real life, Owen. Rob Lowe Ellis is an extremely eccentric and exotic man to pretty much save his son from disaster and his company. So I feel like it's too serious of a plot for how goofy the acting was, if that makes any sense to anybody else.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Like the way that you read the synopsis makes it sound like a more serious show. And I feel like if they had taken if I feel like if they had gone just a tiny bit more serious, not too much because it's still a comedy. If they had tried to make it tiny bit more serious, maybe I could have gotten on board, but I feel like the seriousness of the synopsis paired with the silliness of the show just didn't really match up.
No, definitely not. I mean, sadly, like I said, sadly, I really did want to like the show. I started it before anybody else, and I actually only had like 15 minutes left when I was like, oh man, I gotta go finish it. I only had 15 minutes left. I didn't realize I only had 15 minutes left, but I did. So it took me only 15 minutes to catch up. But let's jump into characters. So we have Jackson Dragon, who plays Rob Lowe's son. He comes through. You can definitely tell they're father and son, right? I don't know how to talk about this stupid show. I hated this show. It's really hard to talk. I really wish Jeanette was here because she's the only one who liked this. It has good ratings too. What is it? Just us?
Why does it have good ratings? Maybe our brains are broken.
I'll read some of the reviews. It's quite okay. Actually, you know what? This person on this review that I found rates it a 7 out of 10, which I could almost agree with. And I really like the way they express their feelings about this, because this is kind of what I would say as well. So this is star_hazard who made this review on IMDb. And they said, I was planning to just play this as background noise. I did the same thing, but found myself tuning in. It's not a very ha 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 type of comedy, nor slapstick. It's more serious setup with characters who are unserious, chaotic, unhinged, and campy. The whole bit is just dry deadpan with sarcastic humor. You'd laugh because it's ridiculous and also kind of true. I like that. That really does set it up to which that's not really my type of humor, which is probably why I don't like it as much. Now, I don't, this is, they would compare it to Big Bang Theory and Parks and Rec. I do not agree with that one bit, because I love Big Bang Theory and I love Parks and Rec. I would not compare Unstable to either of those shows. Maybe
Yeah,
the humor, but
I don't know. As a
I
big
laugh at Parks and Rec and Big Bang Theory. I didn't really laugh at Unstable.
Yeah, I laugh hysterically at Big Bang Theory, but this one I didn't laugh not even once.
I did. I laughed out loud a few times, but not enough for me to enjoy myself, I guess, if that makes any sense. Like there were a few times where I was like, okay, that was funny, but not enough to actually enjoy the show. Just one of those random, like I said, I don't hate it. I didn't hate the show. I just expected to like it a lot more, because I usually do like these kind of comedies, as in Parks and Rec, The Office, Big Bang Theory, all those types of comedy shows. I love them. This one I would not compare to it at all.
No. And I think another thing too was like the characters. There really wasn't a character that I was able to connect with, if that makes sense. So like the two leads, of course, are Ellis and Jackson Dragon, which that's a cool name. I mean, maybe I can give them some points for giving the main characters, but I feel like Alice was far too unhinged for me to really even kind of grasp what was going on there. So I was like, I don't really understand what's going on with this guy. And then they bring in Jackson. And Jackson isn't as unhinged as his father is. He still has his really weird, strange issues that I couldn't really pinpoint. Because obviously he has some issues of his own, but then he also kind of puts on a face very well where it doesn't look like he has any issues.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, we know he really liked Luna. And this is actually one of the storylines I did get into, where I liked Jackson and Luna together. And Luna, if anybody's wondering, is the girl who works at the company, who works in the lab. She's a little cute, mousy. Is that the right word, mousy?
Yeah,
I never used that word and it just came out.
It's very mousy, yes.
It just felt appropriate this time.
It is.
So we'll talk some of the characters. So we have Jackson and Ellis, like you already said. We have Anna. She worked at the company with them. Like, she was the head. She was the evil one. Oh, you don't know that.
Yeah. She was that one who's the head of the company.
She's trying to push. Okay. So Anna was kind of our villain, I guess, so say, in this. But she worked at the same company as Jackson and Ellis, and she's trying to push Ellis out of the company. He's the CEO, but she's trying to push him out. Pretty much saying that he's unhinged, which I don't know if we can really argue with that too much, but whatever.
You can't really say she's wrong there.
I know. And a few other people who work there is Malcolm, Luna, Ruby, or a few of the other people that work there that play smaller roles in here, but also main roles. They're in every episode. They're kind of like the side characters. Jackson gets involved, like I said earlier, with Luna. Ruby and Luna work in the little lab together. And then you have Leslie, who's played by Fred.
It's Armisen.
Okay, yeah, Fred Armisen. So he plays Leslie, which I love. Actually, this is the only character that did make me laugh a lot of the time. And I know that sounds so weird, but he just he keeps moving into Ellis's house without really their permission. He stays there for a couple days, and he just like slowly starts moving in. That part actually did crack me up. I think that's one of the only parts I kind of really laughed at was anytime Leslie was on the screen. So those are kind of the main characters in the bucket. There's other obvious characters, but those are our main guys. Do you have any? It's gonna be hard. Do you have any favorite parts in this show?
I tried so hard. I really don't have much because I also only got 4 episodes in.
Yeah.
I love their I love their therapist.
Mm-hmm.
If you can call him a therapist, I don't know if he actually is one.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I found the family therapy sessions to just be
Those were pretty good, actually.
yeah. Those were really funny. I'd be watching them and I'm like, this is a complete like shit show. Like I don't know I don't understand what this is or how it's supposed to help, but like I'm here to watch it. If that's what this entire show is going to be about, then I can get on board with it. So yeah, I did like the therapy sessions. I don't know. Overall, though, I just really could not get into the show. There really wasn't too much about it that I really loved.
Any complaints?
Oh yeah, I have
complaints. Like, what is your number one complaint on the show?
Oh my gosh, I don't
for
know.
you.
I just could not. I could not get into it. But I think my big overall complaint is that it just was way over the top with how silly it was.
I think that's my favorite parts honestly were with Fred Armisen, who plays Leslie. I hate saying that too because I really do love Rob Lowe's face. Like I usually love everything he's in. I love him. And this show changes none of that for me. Sometimes actors just do stuff and sometimes it just doesn't work on screen like it does on paper. I get it. I will say that so any parts that Leslie were in, I think were some of my favorite parts, even when they weren't being he wasn't being the nicest to the dragons. He still made me laugh. My complaints really on this show is kind of the same. It's just not my type of comedy. It might be it might be somebody else's type of comedy, and I think it is because it is rated. What's it rated? It's rated 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb.
I think I'd agree with that.
I would too. I'm trying to see what Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 67%, which I think I kind of agree with too. I really do. Because I wouldn't say like this was like the worst. I mean, you do get to see Rob Lowe's butt, so that's at least worth a point right there. And then to see this son and dad kind of actor duo together was pretty cool. I did like seeing them on screen together. Hopefully we can get more of them on screen together, just with a better storyline. We don't know if this is getting a second season. We're kind of in limbo right now. Everything's kind of shut down due to the writer's strike, as everybody who is listening probably knows. So we're just going to kind of switch gears from the goofy comedy like we were just talking about into more of a darker comedy that I enjoyed. We're going to talk about Beef. I liked Beef. I know you didn't finish either, but you're not.
I watched an episode. and I couldn't get into it. And before anyone like gets really angry with me, um, it's not. It wasn't unwatchable. Like Unstable was unwatchable for me. It just really was not my type of show,
Yeah.
and I just found it really hard to. I just found it really hard to enjoy. And I know it was kind of presented to me as like more of a dark comedy. And I don't know, maybe dark comedy just is not my thing, but I could not really get into it.
Yeah, I did. I liked it. So this is one we'll kind of like not totally agree on. Oh, you know what? Before we go too far, what was your final grade on Unstable? I need to know before we move on.
I'm gonna give it a solid C.
I'm going to be right there with you. I'll give it a C plus. There.
I'll put it back on just for like background noise, something to have while I'm like folding laundry, but I'm not gonna sit down and watch
And
it.
watch. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I didn't want to forget that. So back to beef. So I'll read the synopsis and then we'll kind of like dive into the characters and what we think. So after an incident in a parking lot, road rage ensues, resulting in a bitter feud between these two people who are played by Ali Wong and Stephen Wynn. No, not Wynn. What's his name? Yin. Stephen Yin. I gotta go back now. Stephen Yin? Yeah. It's Yeun. Yin? 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 I think. I'm gonna go with Yin. So it's two characters played by Ali Wong, who plays Amy, and Stephen Yin, who plays Danny. So their vendetta between them and the lengths that they will go to avenge themselves spirals completely out of control. I mean, they're jeopardizing everyone and everything in their lives for revenge on each other after just a road rage incident. Some of the things are not comedic, and this is why we present it as a dark comedy, because there are some things that are like go a little too far on this just for having some road rage. It's not anything we want to say is okay. IMDb gives this an 8.1 out of 10. So it does have a good rating on IMDb. I'll be giving it a good rating as well. But to jump into characters, we'll talk about Stephen Yin, who plays Danny. I loved the character Danny. He is like this man who lives in kind of a more of a rundown area. Where are they? LA? I think they're somewhere in California, working to make ends meet. And then you have Amy, who's played by Ali Wong, who I absolutely adore. I've watched her stand-up comedy for many, many years. I love her. And she plays Amy, who is the other participant in this road rage incident. She's pretty much backing her car up and he's driving by and she almost hits him and they both go berserk on each other. You also have George, who is played by Joseph Lee, who is Amy's husband. That's right, she's married. Who I really did like George. I still do. And they have a daughter, June. Okay. And you also have Paul, and he is Danny's brother, who's also plays a kind of a big part in this. Those are all of our big main characters. We also have Ashley Park, who plays in Emily in Paris, who also plays in Beef. So she's playing in two of our shows we're talking about today. Go Ashley Park. Told you I love her. I know you haven't finished anything, but what are your thoughts on some of the main characters?
Ooh, I did really like Amy.
I love Amy.
Yeah.
I loved Amy and Danny. I was like on team both the whole time.
I didn't really get far enough into it to really, devote myself to one over the other, but I did like Amy from the get-go. I mean, I know, she's a comedian. I think I may have seen some of her stuff here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Honestly, I really didn't watch enough of it to really devote myself to one character over the other, but I did love Amy from the beginning. I thought she was kind of funny.
I am totally Switzerland, even all the way up until the end. I never really picked one side over the other. They both kept me laughing with their revenge antics back and forth. I know you probably don't have a favorite part since you didn't really watch. My and I know this happens almost in the beginning. It's one of the first like things he does, but whenever he goes into her bathroom and pees all over it
Gosh.
and then leaves, I about lost it.
That is like
Who does that?
that is the easiest yet like worst revenge you can do on someone is
He
just
pees everywhere.
that is disgusting. Like it's so easy to do, but it can really just ruin someone's entire day.
Like he
Bye.
tricks her into like thinking he knows her husband. That's how he gets in the house, and he's like, "I use your bathroom." Because okay, during this road rage incident, if you know, they don't really see each other, so they don't know each other's faces. So he like goes into her house figuring out who she is first and pees all over her bathroom. It's just these things are funny to me. Like it shouldn't be funny because if somebody ever did that to me, like it would not be funny. And she did not find it funny, but it was funny on
But
the
it's a
third person watching it. That was honestly one of my most favorite parts. And that and just some of her quotes in this, hers, Amy's, Ali Wong, whoever, her comebacks are just an honorable mention to me. She that quick humor comebacks that she has throughout this are top notch. Really, and Danny. And I mean, did you ever watch Walking Dead?
no.
Okay. Danny or Stephen Wynn plays one of the main characters in The Walking Dead. That's who one reason that he has my heart. I also stopped watching The Walking Dead because he died. Sorry. That happened years ago. You can't get me on any kind of spoiler alert. You haven't watched now. You're not going to.
That's your fault. You can't avoid spoilers anymore.
Hey man, I can't say hushed forever. So I think one of my only complaints, you know what? I don't know. I don't know what my complaints would be on this show. I really enjoyed it.
No complaints?
I'm sure I do, but I would have to like probably watch it as I go. But off the top of my head, I'm really thinking I don't have the too many complaints. I think my only complaint really is her keeping everything from her husband for the majority of all this. I think that would have solved a lot because that's how Danny really got to her most of the times because he befriended her husband. So her husband would invite him over. Like it's just, I feel like if she was more upfront with her husband, well, we probably wouldn't have got a lot of the comedy. It probably wouldn't have worked.
Then we wouldn't have a show. So
But I almost, because I like George so much and I never wanted like, there are some people who are like, oh, we want her to like leave George for Danny. I don't want Amy and Danny to be together. That's not the point of the show. So I wish people would stop going there on that. But I wish I would kind of see like Amy and George like working together to like get revenge on Danny. Like that would be funny to me. So that would be, I guess, my only complaint. And also I didn't really like I had a love-hate relationship with George's mother, who she played by. I really like she was a great actor. Oh, Patty Yasutaki. Let me go with that. Patty Yasutaki plays Fumi, who plays George's mother. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else in here that we know. Maria Bello plays Jordan. Maria Bello. She played like Coyote Ugly, that Lil. I'm sure you've seen Coyote Ugly, correct? What? What? You've never seen Coyote Ugly?
no.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay. Anyways,
You react that way. That's why every time you say you're watching it, I just don't say anything.
gosh, such a good movie with a phenomenal playlist too. It'd be right up your alley. It's like a rom-com almost. All right, so I will give my final grade. You've only watched a couple episodes. I don't know if I'm not allowing you to give a grade because you don't matter. I'm gonna give this an A plus. And I only say that because I don't think they could have done anything better for this. I think they nailed it. Absolutely. I would give it an A plus. Surprisingly, I don't give out A pluses very easily.
In my opinion, doesn't matter. So,
And Eve's opinion doesn't matter because she hasn't finished it.
maybe give it another try.
Give it another try. How long were you into it? Like how far did you get into it?
Watched an episode.
Just one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep going. I remember I told my cousin too. I was like, you got to watch like 2 or 3 episodes and then you'll be sucked in. But as long as I like dark comedies. So
I will give it another try eventually. I still need to get back to Will Trent and start SWAT and
thank
all
you.
other stuff you keep saying that we have to watch.
Honestly, SWAT, because everybody loves SWAT. Not everybody loves SWAT. I love SWAT.
So everybody should love SWAT.
So everybody should love SWAT. And I've almost finished the whole thing without anybody to talk to. So it's very disappointing. I've been all by myself.
I need to finish School Spirits. I'm like 2 episodes.
I finished that.
Now, and I'm the one who said, "Oh, look, this looks good. We should all watch it." And I'm
I finished it and then went back and was like, did I finish it already? I didn't even realize I had already finished it. But I did. I do that a lot with shows.
I always have to check and see how many episodes there are before I start a show. That otherwise I would have gotten to the end of episode 8 and been like, whoa, this is good. And then I would have realized, oh shoot, there's no episode 9. What is this?
I did that with Unstable. That's why I was like, I gotta go finish that. I didn't realize there was only 8 episodes. I was like, oh, I did. Look at me go. Better than I thought it was. All right, let's finish this up. All right, so we don't know if Beef is coming back. There's no word. I think it says, I don't know, did it say limited series or season 1? I have to go back and look. The creator has said it will be new cast and like new characters if it does come back.
So would it be an anthology type thing, like Cruel Summer?
I think so. I think we're gonna start seeing that a lot more on shows, is different actors and stuff. I'd be down to see another one of this as long as they can get some good actors in it. I'd watch it. I love a good revenge story.
As long as you're not involved.
Exactly. I don't want to be involved. I don't like all that drama. I just like I like watching drama on TV. I don't like drama in my real life. So I think that's all we have for tonight. We have talked about Emily in Paris, season 3. We've talked about Beef. We talked about Unstable, just loosely. Don't forget to check out our socials and Facebook group, Netflix Family Fan Club. Throughout our summer, we'll keep bringing you Cruel Summer recaps and reviews on Fridays and Netflix reviews on Wednesdays. So this week, we'll be discussing political thrillers, I believe, which means I need to go finish The Diplomat. It's really good, but I do need to finish it. So we will talk to you real soon. Bye.
Bye.
Loving our content? Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to share our podcast with your family and friends. We want to continue the conversation with you. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, or TikTok under Fandom Family Chats, or one of our ever-growing Facebook groups by searching Family Fan Club. We've also launched a website, Family Fan Club 2021 at Wixsite.com. You can email us there and keep checking it for announcements and merch coming soon. And of course, be sure to tune in every week for new episodes discussing all your favorite shows.